Hello and welcome back to the mix-up. Gonna be doing another reaction to a video from the YouTube channel Chills. This one, 13 scariest things caught on security cameras. Now, I've seen a few crazy things on security cameras. One time we had a guy break into a place I'm working, and yeah, we saw some things on that camera we didn't want to see. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's get right into this.
Surveillance systems are supposed to keep you secure, but all too often this feeling of extra safety is simply just an illusion. Bad things can always happen in
Now, I know this is just an intro, so I'm not going to comment on some of these clips until I actually get into them.
an instant, and during these types of situations, all a surveillance system
I wonder what that one was, dude chilling at the top of the
can
stairs.
do is document the scary events as they unfold. Number 13. This video was taken just outside of the notoriously haunted Dover Castle in England.
Now, I don't know. This could be something on the
Large
camera.
dark form slowly walks across an entranceway and soon attracts the attention of a security guard patrolling nearby.
Now, did the guard see it in person or on the camera?
Guard walks over to investigate, and the
Do we have complete clarification on
shadow
that?
silently
Because if he saw it on the camera and then went outside, he's
passes
just trying to
beneath
figure
his
out where it is.
feet without detection.
That's weird, though. That definitely looks ghostly. Kind of looked like it was walking, too. Like it had the bottom of it. Had like the movement of legs.
Normally, I'd say this could have been some sort of technical malfunction with the
But the question is, did he see it in person? Or did he see it on the video and go out there afterwards?
CCTV equipment itself, but watching the security guard walk to the exact same spot makes me think otherwise. Number 12. Two people are taking a dip in the pool when a fierce reptile rips their family friend.
Yo, if I was in a pool and a little, even a baby alligator like that is gonna do some damage. Some razor sharp teeth. That thing's gonna mess you up bad. You know how fast those things swim too? My mom came outside one time, saw one of those in the pond in her backyard in North Carolina. I'm like, well, what did you do? She's like, I don't know, went out there the next day, it wasn't there. I'm like, I'd be a little bugged out to let the dog out after that.
Children and other family members cry out in surprise as the feisty alligator quickly claims its territory.
Look at how fast this thing snaps.
And drives everyone out of
You see that?
the pool.
Those things are fast.
Not a full-grown adult, but its jaws are still large enough to do some damage.
And razor sharp teeth.
Fortunately, everyone escapes the situation unscathed. This could have easily gone a lot worse. However, there is always a chance it could happen again. Number 11. These drivers in China narrowly miss a gigantic landslide.
That is a huge landslide.
That could have easily swallowed all of them whole. You can see a couple of pedestrians barely managed to scramble to safety as an endless barrage of dirt, debris, and trees
That's like
fills the area where they were standing only moments before, as the CCTV dashcam
that's thousands of pounds of dirt.
clearly shows. The sheer force behind this landslide would have had no problem carrying a few cars down the mountainside had it reached just a few feet closer. Number 10. A man in Australia is perusing his phone when an unwelcome guest slithers directly under him. Fortunately, his loyal dog has incredibly fast
see it at first.
reflexes.
The dog comes over
and manages to alert him to the snake's presence within seconds. Now it's the owner's turn to save his dog's life by leading him as far away from this creature as he can. As it turns out, this is actually an eastern brown snake, which is the second most venomous snake in
the second most
the entire world.
Wow.
Unlike most snakes, this aggressive species will
Yo, if him or the dog got bit by them,
not hesitate
by that thing,
to protect its territory. You've already seen how fast they can move.
If you got bit by one of them, you're done.
So with its speed and temperament in mind, it should come
I'm surprised that dog didn't
It's
get
no
bit.
surprise to learn that they have ended the lives of many Australians in the past. In other words, this is absolutely the last snake you would want to charge towards your bare feet.
Wow.
While you are completely oblivious on your cell phone. I can
This is a close call at its finest
only
right
imagine
here.
how terrified he must have been to see a wild specimen so close. Number 9. Imagine traveling down a busy city street when suddenly cars, buildings, and even the sidewalk starts to rumble beneath your feet. That's exactly what happened to the South Asian country
Wow, that's one crazy
of
earthquake.
Nepal in 2017. Onlookers watch in horror as power lines
That's crazy.
snap and spark on the roads. Everyone scatters for cover only to find there
I was actually working with a guy from Nepal when this happened, and he had family there.
is nowhere to run when the earth itself is the problem. Meanwhile, store interiors become absolute chaos as heavy items clatter to the ground from the shelves and entire aisles topple over. The very foundation of the building itself threatens to collapse under the immense shaking.
That's ridiculous.
Watch again and you'll see this brave woman pick up her child seconds before a
Like, everything's just falling apart.
cascading avalanche of items would have surely crushed him. It's amazing how quickly someone can become a hero with barely a moment's thought. Number 8. This video was taken in a public housing development on Jurong Road in Singapore. Audrey Anthony claims he's been experiencing
Looked like a ghostly figure there.
strange supernatural occurrences on his property and decides to set up a CCTV
Oh, is that full
system.
speed or?
He's both amazed and terrified when one of his cameras actually verifies his story. A small white object darts down the hall with enough force to rustle some clothing. A slowed down version of the video reveals a vaguely childlike figure about the size of a toddler. It could just be video editing, but let me know if you see it and what you think it is.
I see it. It's moving really
Number
fast
7. Here's another strange surveillance tape out of Singapore, this time at an apartment building in Tampines. Most of the orb videos I've seen in the past could be explained away as a piece of dust, but this is clearly something way different.
Yeah, most of the time it's either lights or dust, and this is...
At first, I thought that this was someone playing with a high-powered flashlight, but then I realized two things. You can usually see a ray of light leading back to a person holding the flashlight, but there's no such thing here. Secondly, the orb appears to briefly switch to a gray color when it hits the wall.
That's weird.
Watch this part of the video to see the colors change. That's not something an ordinary flashlight would do. If anyone can explain these two things to me, then I'll agree that it's fake. Number 6.
I mean, it could be...
A Chicago couple go out for a fun night on the town and then return home after they'd had a few. They pass out on the couch together, and when they wake up the next day, the girlfriend's purse is nowhere to be found.
What?
Her boyfriend keeps telling her that she must have left it at the bar last night, but she insists that she remembers bringing it home.
Did somebody break in while they were passed out drunk?
He finally decides to end the argument by looking at the home surveillance footage from the night before.
Oh boy.
This way, he can retrace their steps and figure out if her purse really was with her when they came home.
Is it that one? Who did this? I found a configuration file that really fit with a pattern of IP addresses.
That's just some random person in their house?
Once you decrypt it, you'll know where the hell it came from.
The last thing he expected to see while reviewing the footage was a man in a hooded sweatshirt silently watching them from a staircase
Yo, that dude was in the house when they got home.
above as they slept. After staring at the couple for approximately 5 minutes, he goes
Yo, this dude's crazy.
deeper into the house. Then he reappears and watches some more. What's even more astonishing is that the couple had 2 dogs with them, and
How did dogs not know?
that the man was so quiet that even the pets did not notice him. Police are sure that
This dude's been doing this for a while.
this person has been involved in other incidents like
If you so quiet, you ain't even distracting the dogs.
this.
Yeah, you a professional. You a professional professional asshole.
And are working hard to find him. Who knows how many other people in Chicago he has stood over while they slept, or what other sort of fantasies and other impulses could have possibly been
He looks like a weirdo.
going through his mind at the time. Number 5. This CCTV video comes from an unnamed museum after hours. First, you can see the turnstile move on its own,
Those things don't move easily.
as if someone has been granted admission. Next, the turnstile suddenly stops, and you can see the clear outline of a figure as it makes a brisk exit. I'm not quite sure what to make of this footage, but many people think it could be real, since museums are often filled with ancient artifacts that could be haunted.
I don't know. This one is kind of creepy.
Number 4. Jails offer no privacy, and a lot of them have CCTV equipment in nearly every corner. This video of an empty cell seems ordinary enough until the shadow materializes out of nowhere. The restless spirit briefly paces in a circle and then goes to the far corner. It seems to step onto the toilet and then jumps out of sight.
I do see the shadow.
If this is not CGI, then it could be a spirit reenacting the final moments before taking its own life with a rope or something
It kind of looks like it might be CGI.
similar. This is sadly a common practice in jail and can be done with anything from shoelaces to a tied up shirt. Maybe a desperate inmate once tied something around.
You know, because you can see it's definitely something in the camera because it's changing the color. It's changing the color of the bars too.
Around their neck to the bars above and jumped off the toilet. They were obviously trying to escape.
It's definitely changing the color of the bars, so it's like definitely not in there. It's
Their punishment, but now it looks like
probably like a bug or something flying around and just hitting an angle of it
they
or something.
doomed
I don't know.
themselves
But
here
it's,
for all eternity. Number 3.
oh, hold on, wait.
But now it looks like they doomed themselves here for all eternity.
Yeah, you see something in the back corner there just as it fades away that might be casting a shadow. Look.
Around their neck to the bars above and jumped off the toilet. They were
Look in the
obviously trying
top
to escape their punishment,
left-hand
but now
corner
it
of the
looks like they
screen.
doomed themselves here for all
Just at the end.
eternity.
Right there. Something there that could have been causing a shadow.
Number 3. A camera watching over a neighborhood block records something quite abnormal. At the stroke of midnight, a transparent figure shambles across the street towards an
Alright, this is definitely got to be some
alleyway
CG.
uneven strides. When you look at the footage up close,
Yo,
you can see that the movements are kind of
this is...
repetitive. So I'm thinking that maybe somebody made an edit using a video game model. If you recognize this character from any game
It's like a zombie from an old game.
or movie, then please let me know which one.
I think it is. It's something from a video game.
Number 2. It's a rainy night in Mumbai, India, and everyone in this household is fast asleep, including the family dog, who you can see hunkered down in the corner. The heavy rain helps mask the approach of one of India's most cunning predators, the wild leopard. The sleeping dog appears to be an easy target for a late night meal. As I watch the leopard
Yo, that leopard's looking at that dog like, I see dinner.
expertly search for a way into the house, careful not to make a sound, I can't help but suspect that it often raids home in search of pets to eat.
Yo, that thing would tear a human to shreds. Let alone what it would do to a little dog.
Either way, the feline predator can't seem to find a good entrance, so it decides to try and make its own.
Don't tell me this thing just smashes through the window. Yo. A brave little dog.
The brave little dog wakes up
Yeah, it definitely is one
comes
brave
face
little
to
dog.
face with a jungle cat 5 times its size. The leopard knows its cover has been blown and wanders off as quietly as it came before any humans can arrive. It looks like the dog has won for now, but hopefully its owners will keep a close eye on him whenever he
I mean, this is like worse than around here where you got coyotes roaming around.
goes outside. After all, leopards
These things will do a lot more damage than a coyote.
have a good memory and there's always next time. Before we get to number 1, my name is and tap that fam. If you believe you don't, DM 1 entry. Also, follow me on Twitter. Fact that generosity and the Belbis load every Thursday and up one morning to find his cell phone. Number 1.
Here's number
A man
one.
in Queens, New York, woke up one morning to find his cell phone randomly missing from his dresser. Since he lives all by himself
Some dude just walked into his house.
and only puts his phone in one spot, he decides to check the surveillance
Yo.
footage to see what happened. What he finds is enough to make any reasonable person permanently
He got a knife in his mouth.
paranoid.
He's in there while he's sleeping. Yo, some thieves just don't even care.
The camera shows a young man who he has never met before enter his home at 2:20 in the morning through an unlocked back door. The invader
He got a knife hanging out his mouth too.
gets all the way across the man's house to his bedroom without being detected, at which point he gets on all fours and crawls just a few feet away from the homeowner's bed. Meanwhile, the unsuspecting homeowner is completely asleep and none the wiser.
That's ridiculous.
The bandit briefly comes up to snatch the cell phone and then quickly makes off. The man is understandably quite shaken by all of this when he notices one other large detail that he had failed to notice before. The young thief must have been ready to meet some resistance and came
Yeah, he got that knife in his
prepared
mouth.
for a showdown. Clutched tightly between his teeth as he snaked across the floor was a
Yeah, he was ready for him to get up.
very sizable blade.
That's crazy. Man, some of these videos, yo. Anyway, until next time, this has been The Mix Up. Peace.